Turning 70 is not just another birthday, it is a powerful turning point that quietly redraws the map of your life, no matter how strong, independent, or youthful you feel inside. This age introduces realities that cannot be ignored. The world begins to treat you differently, your body sends new signals, and your priorities shift in ways you never expected. This is not meant to frighten you, but to prepare you, because understanding the truth of this stage can help you live it with wisdom, dignity, and peace. At 70, the body no longer recovers the way it once did. A small fall can take months to heal. A night of poor sleep can affect the entire day. Energy becomes precious, and pain may appear without warning. Many seniors struggle with this change because mentally they still feel capable, but physically, they must slow down. The harsh reality is that ignoring these signals often leads to injury, illness, or long-term dependence. The wise choice is not denial, but adjustment, listening to your body, respecting its limits, and caring for it more intentionally than ever before. Another profound change is the shrinking of your social world. Friends pass away, move, or become confined by illness. Family members become busy with their own lives. Invitations become fewer. Phone calls shorter. Loneliness can quietly settle in, even when surrounded by people. This is one of the hardest truths of aging and pretending. It doesn't hurt, only deepens the pain. Seniors who thrive after 70 learn to actively protect their emotional health by staying socially engaged, seeking meaningful conversations, and refusing to isolate themselves out of pride or fear. Turning 70 also changes how society sees you. Your opinions may be overlooked, your pace criticized, your value underestimated. This can feel deeply unfair after decades of contribution and sacrifice. But this stage of life requires a shift from seeking validation to embracing self-respect. Your worth is no longer measured by productivity or speed, but by wisdom, presence, and the calm strength that only experience can bring. Accepting this truth frees you from resentment and restores inner peace. Financial reality often becomes sharper at this age as well. Fixed incomes, rising medical costs, and unexpected expenses can create anxiety. The future feels more fragile. This is why planning, budgeting, and simplicity become essential. Seniors who find peace are not those with the most money, but those who adapt their lifestyle to what truly matters and let go of unnecessary stress and material pressure emotionally. Turning 70 forces reflection. Regrets may surface, lost opportunities, broken relationships, and unfulfilled dreams can weigh heavily on the heart. This is a dangerous place if left unchecked, but also a powerful one. The advice for seniors here is simple but difficult. Forgive yourself. Life was lived with the knowledge and strength you had at the time. Dwelling on the past steals joy from the present. At 70, peace matters more than perfection. Perhaps the most life-changing reality is the awareness of time. Mortality becomes real, not theoretical. This awareness can bring fear or clarity. Seniors who embrace this truth begin to live more intentionally. They speak honestly, love deeply, and stop wasting energy on arguments, grudges, and expectations that no longer matter. They understand that every day is valuable, not because it is long, but because it is meaningful. Turning 70 changes your life forever, but not necessarily for the worse. It strips away illusions and forces you to see what truly matters. Health becomes sacred, relationships become precious, peace becomes the ultimate goal. The advice for seniors is not to fight this stage, but to master it. Slow down, but don't give up. Accept help, but don't surrender independence. Let go of what drains you, and protect what gives you life. This is not the end of the journey. It is a quieter, wiser chapter, and for those who face it with honesty and courage, it can be one of the most meaningful chapters of all. One of the hardest realities of turning 70 is realizing that your body changes much faster than your mind is prepared to accept. Inside, you still feel capable, alert, and independent. Your thoughts are sharp, your memories vivid, and your desire to stay active is strong. But the body begins to tell a different story. Movements that once felt effortless now require caution. Knees complain, balance feels uncertain, and simple tasks can leave you unexpectedly tired. This mismatch between how you feel mentally and what your body can handle can be deeply frustrating and even emotionally painful. Many seniors struggle because they expect their body to obey the same commands it always has, when it doesn't. Anger and denial often follow. "I did this easily 10 years ago" becomes a common thought. But aging does not announce itself loudly, it arrives quietly, through slower reflexes, longer recovery times, and reduced strength. Ignoring these signs does not make them disappear. Instead, it increases the risk of falls, injuries, and long-term health problems that can take away independence far more quickly than necessary. Another difficult adjustment is accepting that rest is no longer laziness, it is maintenance. At 70, the body needs more recovery time, better nutrition, and gentler movement. Overexertion can lead to days of pain or exhaustion. This doesn't mean life must become inactive. It means activity must become smarter, walking, stretching, light strength exercises, and balance training become essential tools for survival, not optional hobbies. Seniors who learn to work with their bodies instead of fighting them preserve mobility and confidence far longer. Pain also changes character. With age, it may appear without clear cause and linger longer than expected. This can affect mood, patience, and sleep. The advice here is not to suffer in silence. Listening to your body includes seeking medical guidance, managing pain responsibly, and making lifestyle changes that support joint and muscle health. Pride should never stand in the way of care. Perhaps the most important lesson is emotional acceptance. Mourning the loss of youthful strength is natural, but staying stuck in that grief is damaging. Aging is not failure, it is transformation. When seniors accept physical changes with wisdom rather than resentment, they regain control. They learn new rhythms, new limits, and new ways to stay strong. The body may change faster than the mind is ready for, but with patience, respect, and adaptation, life after 70 can still be active, dignified, and deeply fulfilling. Loneliness becomes one of the most painful and least discussed realities after turning 70, and it often arrives quietly. Social circles naturally shrink at this age, not because you want them to, but because life slowly pulls people away. Friends you shared decades with may pass on, fall ill, or move closer to their children. Family members become busy with work, responsibilities, and their own struggles. Even when love still exists, time and attention become limited. The sudden absence of familiar voices and routines can leave seniors feeling invisible and forgotten. What makes this loneliness especially difficult is that it is often misunderstood. From the outside, people assume seniors are used to being alone or prefer quiet. In reality, the need for connection never disappears with age. In fact, it often becomes stronger after 70. Emotional companionship matters more than ever because it provides reassurance, identity, and a sense of belonging. Without regular interaction, days begin to blur together, motivation fades, and even simple joys lose their color. Many seniors hesitate to speak about their loneliness because they don't want to appear weak, needy, or burdensome. This silence can be damaging. Loneliness is not just an emotional issue, it affects physical health too. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness can increase the risk of depression, memory decline, heart disease, and even early death. When the mind lacks stimulation and warmth, The body often follows with illness and fatigue. Another harsh truth is that loneliness can exist even when people are around. Sitting in a house full of family does not guarantee connection. Conversations may feel rushed, shallow, or distracted by phones and screens. Seniors may feel unheard or irrelevant, as if their stories no longer matter. This emotional distance can hurt more than physical isolation. The key advice for seniors is to actively protect their social and emotional life. Waiting for others to call or visit often leads to disappointment. Instead, small efforts can make a powerful difference. Joining community groups, religious gatherings, hobby circles, or simply maintaining a routine of regular phone calls. Meaningful connection does not require many people, it requires sincerity. It is also important to build a relationship with oneself. Seniors who learn to enjoy their own company, develop routines, and find purpose in small daily activities cope better with solitude. Loneliness loses its grip when life still feels meaningful. Loneliness after 70 is real, painful, and common, but it is not a personal failure. It is a condition of change. By acknowledging it honestly and responding with intention, seniors can protect their mental health and rediscover connection, comfort, and dignity in this stage of life. One of the most unsettling realities of turning 70 is realizing that society slowly begins to treat you differently, often without saying it out loud. The change is subtle at first. People may speak louder even when you hear perfectly well, finish your sentences for you, or make decisions on your behalf without asking. Over time, these small moments send a painful message that you are no longer seen as fully capable, relevant, or independent. For many seniors, this shift is more emotionally difficult than physical aging itself. After decades of working, raising families, solving problems, and contributing to society, it can feel deeply insulting to suddenly be overlooked. Your opinions may be ignored in conversations, your experience may be dismissed as outdated. Younger people may assume you are slow, confused, or resistant to change. This loss of respect can quietly erode confidence and self-worth, making seniors question their value in a world that now seems to prioritize speed, technology, and youth above all else. Another harsh reality is how invisibility sets in public spaces. Seniors are often rushed, avoided, or simply not noticed. In the workplace, those who still wish to contribute may be pushed aside or encouraged to step back. Regardless of their skill or wisdom, even within families, decisions about finances, living arrangements, or healthcare may be made without proper consultation. While some of this may come from concern, it can still feel like a loss of control over one's own life. This treatment can lead to anger, bitterness, or withdrawal if not handled carefully. Some seniors respond by becoming defensive or resentful, while others shrink into silence. Neither response brings peace. The advice here is not to accept disrespect, but to redefine where your sense of worth comes from. After 70, dignity must come from self-respect rather than external approval. Wise seniors learn to choose their battles. They speak up when it matters and let go when it doesn't. They assert independence where possible while accepting help where necessary, without shame. They understand that society's attitude reflects its fear of aging, not their personal failure. Perhaps the greatest power seniors have at this stage is wisdom. While society may value youth, it desperately needs perspective, patience, and emotional intelligence, qualities that often peak later in life. When seniors embrace this truth, they stop trying to prove themselves and start living authentically. Being treated differently after 70 is painful, but it can also be freeing. When you stop seeking validation from a world that misunderstands aging, you gain the freedom to live on your own terms with calm, clarity, and quiet strength. Turning 70 brings a sharp awareness that financial and health security are no longer Distant worries, they become daily concerns that shape almost every decision. Even seniors who planned carefully often feel this pressure because life at this stage is less predictable. Medical needs increase, income usually becomes fixed, and unexpected expenses can appear at any moment. This constant awareness can create anxiety, especially for those who spent most of their lives feeling financially independent and physically strong. Health becomes closely tied to finances after 70. Doctor visits become more frequent, medications multiply, and small health issues can turn into ongoing conditions that require continuous care. Even with savings or support, the cost of maintaining health can feel overwhelming. Seniors may begin to worry not just about getting sick, but about how long their resources will last. This fear can quietly steal peace of mind and make people hesitate to seek care when they actually need it. Financial insecurity is not always about poverty. Even seniors with enough money often fear losing control. Rising living costs, inflation, and emergency expenses can make the future feel unstable. Many worry about becoming a burden on their children or family, which can lead them to hide struggles or avoid asking for help. This silence often increases stress and isolation, making problems harder to manage. Another harsh reality is the mental toll of constant calculation. Seniors start measuring every choice. Can I afford this treatment? Should I repair the house? Or save the money? What if something worse happens later? Living in this state of uncertainty can be exhausting. It can also lead to sacrificing quality of life in the name of fear, rather than balance. The advice for seniors is to face these concerns with clarity rather than panic. Honest budgeting, realistic planning, and open conversations with trusted family members can reduce fear significantly. Seeking professional advice when possible helps seniors make informed decisions instead of emotional ones. Simplicity also becomes a powerful tool, letting go of unnecessary expenses, downsizing where appropriate, and focusing on essentials can restore a sense of control. Equally important is prioritizing preventive health, taking care of the body through regular checkups, proper nutrition, movement, and rest can reduce long-term costs and suffering. Prevention is not just about health, it is a financial strategy. Financial and health security after 70 are deeply connected to peace of mind. While uncertainty cannot be eliminated, it can be managed. Seniors who face these realities with honesty, planning, and self-compassion protect not only their future, but their dignity and sense of independence in this important stage of life. One of the most profound changes that comes with turning 70 is the heightened awareness of time. Time no longer feels endless or abstract. It becomes personal, precious, and deeply real. The future, once imagined in decades, is now measured more carefully. This awareness can be unsettling at first. It forces seniors to confront mortality, loss, and the reality that life has entered its later chapter. But while this realization can bring fear, it also has the power to bring extraordinary clarity. After 70, priorities begin to shift naturally. Things that once seemed urgent, status, competition, material success, or pleasing everyone, start to lose their importance. Seniors often realize how much energy was spent worrying about things that never truly mattered. Arguments feel pointless. Grudges feel heavy. There is a growing desire for peace, simplicity, and emotional honesty. Time feels too valuable to waste on resentment or stress. This stage of life often brings reflection. Seniors look back on their journey, remembering joys, mistakes, sacrifices, and missed chances. Regret can surface, sometimes painfully. Thoughts of "I should have" or "I wish I had" can become frequent visitors. The harsh truth is that regret can either poison the present or teach wisdom. The advice here is to treat reflection as understanding, not punishment. Every choice was made with the knowledge, circumstances, and strength available at the time, self-forgiveness becomes essential for emotional survival. Awareness of time also changes relationships. Seniors often crave deeper connections rather than frequent ones. Small talk loses appeal, while meaningful conversations gain value. There is a stronger desire to say what truly matters, to express love, appreciation, and even apologies that were once delayed by pride or busyness. Many seniors find that relationships become more honest and emotionally rich during this phase. Another important shift is how joy is experienced after 70. Joy often comes from simple moments: a quiet morning, a shared meal, a familiar voice, a memory revisited. Seniors begin to understand that happiness is not found in accumulation, but in presence. Living slowly becomes a strength, not a weakness. Perhaps the greatest gift of this awareness is purpose. Seniors who accept the reality of limited time often feel a renewed desire to live intentionally. They choose where to spend their energy, who to spend it with, and what truly deserves their attention. Time becomes sacred, not frightening. Turning 70 changes how life is measured. It is no longer about how much time remains, but how meaningfully it is lived. For seniors who embrace this truth, the later years can become a period of wisdom, peace, and quiet fulfillment where every day, though fewer, holds deeper value than ever before.